Stop for a moment. Ask yourself a simple question. What is time? You will say time flows. It moves forward. The past is gone. The future is coming. Right now is all that exists. Simple. Obvious. Everyone knows this. But here is something strange. If time flows, how fast does it flow? Think carefully. 1 second per second? That answer means nothing. Speed needs comparison. A car moves 60 miles per hour, miles compared to hours. But what do you compare time to? There is nothing outside of time to measure it against. Already your obvious answer starts breaking. It gets worse. Physicists who study the deepest laws of nature found something disturbing. In their equations, time does not flow. It does not move. It does not pass. The present moment you treasure so much, it does not exist in physics. Past, present, and future are equally real. All of them. Right now. Always. So why do you feel time passing? Why does yesterday feel gone? Why does tomorrow feel unwritten? The answer will surprise you. It involves exploding stars, melting ice cubes, and the birth of the universe itself. By the end of this video, your understanding of time will collapse completely, and something far stranger will replace it. Stay with me. Watch until the end. If this kind of deep thinking excites you, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. It helps more than you know. Now, let us begin. Time flows as a feeling. You believe time moves. It flows forward like a river. The present moment arrives, exists briefly, then disappears into the past. Tomorrow approaches. Yesterday recedes. This feels so obvious that questioning it seems foolish. The feeling is constant. Every second confirms it. You watch clocks tick. You see things change. You feel yourself getting older. The language supports this completely. We say time flies. Moments slip away. Hours pass. Years go by. The words assume movement without asking if movement actually exists. But here is a problem nobody considers. If time flows, how fast does it flow? 1 second per second? That answer means nothing. Speed requires comparison. A car moves at 60 miles per hour, distance compared to time. But what do you compare time to? There is nothing outside of time to measure its speed against. The question destroys itself. You have confused experience with explanation. Feeling something does not mean understanding it. The sun appears to move across the sky. For thousands of years, humans trusted this experience. They were wrong. The earth moves. The sun stays relatively still. Your experience of flowing time may contain the same error. Before understanding what time actually is, this belief must be abandoned completely. Why you feel movement. Your brain creates this feeling. It is not detecting something external. It is manufacturing an experience internally. Here is what happens every millisecond. Your brain stores a tiny memory of what just occurred. Simultaneously, it predicts what will happen next. Then it compares the prediction against what actually arrives. This constant loop of remembering, predicting, and comparing produces the sensation of moving through moments. You never notice the construction. The process runs beneath awareness. The result feels like reality itself. Why does your brain do this? Survival. Your ancestors needed to react quickly. They needed to anticipate threats. They needed to remember dangers. Evolution did not build brains to understand physics. Evolution built brains to keep bodies alive long enough to reproduce. Accuracy about time's true nature provided no survival advantage. Useful illusions did. Now consider this. Every human shares this experience. Billions of people across history felt time flowing. Does universal agreement prove the feeling reflects reality? No. Universal agreement proves only that all human brains work similarly. Everyone sees the same illusion because everyone uses the same neural machinery. Agreement is not evidence. Consensus is not truth. Physical reality does not consult human perception before operating. The universe functions identically whether you understand it or not. What physics actually measures? Physicists abandoned the flowing river long ago. They replaced it with something colder but clearer. To a physicist, time is a coordinate. Like north or east on a map, it labels where events happen, not just where in space, where in time. The year, the hour, the millisecond, a location, nothing more. What do clocks actually measure? Not the passage of time. Clocks count intervals between events. One event happens, another event happens. The clock records how much separation exists between them. No flowing required, just comparison. Consider the planets orbiting the Sun. Physicists can predict exactly where Mars will be in 10,000 years. They can also calculate exactly where Mars was 10,000 years ago. The equations work identically in both directions. Given the present, the past is as calculable as the future. This disturbs people. It should. If physics treats past and future symmetrically, where does the flow come from? The equations contain no arrow, no preferred direction, no special moment called now. Every point in time simply exists, like every point in space exists. This feels emotionally unsatisfying. Where is the present moment? Where is the specialness of now? Physics offers no comfort here, but something valuable emerges. Questions dissolve. How fast does time flow? Meaningless. Where does the present go? Nowhere. It never moved. These were never real questions. They were symptoms of confused intuition. Clarity costs comfort. Cream dissolving into coffee. Forget rivers, forget arrows. Consider a cup of coffee. You pour cream into black coffee. At first, the cream sits on top. Separate. Distinct. Low entropy. Few ways to arrange those molecules while keeping cream and coffee apart. Then the cream dissolves. It spreads. It mixes. The mixture becomes uniform brown. High entropy. Millions of ways to arrange molecules that produce identical appearance. This process never reverses. You never see brown coffee spontaneously separate into black liquid and white cream floating above. Why not? Physics permits it. The equations allow molecules to unmix. Nothing forbids reversal, but probability forbids it. The number of mixed arrangements vastly exceeds unmixed arrangements. Overwhelmingly, catastrophically exceeds. For unmixing to occur by chance, you would wait longer than the universe has existed. Longer than the universe will exist. This is entropy, not disorder exactly. Counting. How many microscopic arrangements produce the same macroscopic appearance? High entropy means many arrangements. Low entropy means few. Now the crucial step. Replace the coffee cup with the entire universe. The Big Bang was the cream sitting on top, extremely low entropy, highly ordered. Since then, the universe has been mixing. Entropy increasing, structures forming temporarily, stars burning, complexity appearing briefly. The arrow you feel is not time moving, it is probability expressing itself. You experience the direction from fewer arrangements toward more arrangements. Entropy does not flow, it counts. This analogy works at every scale. It fails only when you try to make it poetic. Cosmic scales reveal the pattern. Zoom out. Extend the timescale beyond human comprehension. The Big Bang occurred 14 billion years ago. The universe began hot, dense, smooth, extremely low entropy. Since then, entropy has increased continuously. Galaxies formed, stars ignited, planets coalesced, life emerged. All of this represents entropy increasing, not decreasing. This seems backwards. Complex structures appearing sounds like order increasing, but the appearance deceives. Stars burn fuel and radiate heat into cold space. This radiation increases total entropy far more than the star's structure decreases it. Complexity rides the wave of increasing disorder. It does not oppose it. Now extend forward. Stars exhaust their fuel. They collapse into white dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes. Even black holes do not last. Stephen Hawking showed they radiate slowly. They evaporate. Given enough time, roughly 10 to the power of 100 years, every black hole will vanish. What remains? Empty space, thin radiation, maximum entropy, no structures, no complexity, no gradients to exploit. Equilibrium. You exist in a brief window. The universe has enough gradient remaining for complexity to persist. Eventually that window closes. Not because something breaks, because the same laws operating now continue operating forever. Intuition resists this. You want permanence. You want humanity to matter cosmically. The universe provides no such comfort. Temporary complexity is not a flaw in reality. It is the only way complexity can exist at all. Why past differs from future? You know the past. You cannot know the future with equal certainty. You can influence the future. You cannot influence the past at all. This asymmetry feels fundamental. It is not. The fundamental equations of physics treat both directions identically. Run them forward, they work. Run them backward, they work equally well. Nothing in the mathematics prefers past over future, yet eggs break and never unbreak. Coffee cools and never spontaneously reheats. You remember yesterday, but not tomorrow. Where does this one-way character originate? Entropy again. The answer is always entropy. The Big Bang began with extraordinarily low entropy. Cosmologists do not fully understand why, but this initial condition creates everything you experience as the arrow of time. Given a low entropy starting point, entropy increases afterward, not because of a law commanding direction, because of probability. More arrangements exist at higher entropy. Systems naturally evolve toward more probable configurations. Memory itself depends on this. A memory is a record, a photograph, a fossil, a brain state. Creating records requires low entropy to start. You remember the past because the past had lower entropy than now. The record points backward toward lower entropy, not forward. Remove the entropy gradient and direction vanishes. At equilibrium, nothing distinguishes before from after. No records form. No memories exist. No causes produce effects. Time loses its arrow entirely. The direction you experience is not built into time, it is built into the initial conditions of the universe. Change those conditions and the arrow disappears. The present moment dissolves. Right now feels universal. You assume everyone shares the same present moment. Surely now is now everywhere. This assumption is wrong. Relativity destroyed it over a century ago. Einstein showed that simultaneity depends on the observer. Two events happening at the same time for you may happen at different times for someone moving relative to you. This is not illusion, not measurement error. Both perspectives are equally valid. Physics provides no method to determine which observer possesses the true now. No master clock exists. No universal present encompasses all of reality. Consider someone in a distant galaxy moving away from Earth at high speed. Their present moment slices through space-time differently than yours. Events you consider future, they consider past. Events you consider past, they consider future. No contradiction exists, just different but equally valid divisions of the same reality. What remains constant? Not the present, not simultaneity. The space-time interval remains invariant. The relationship between events in four-dimensional space-time stays fixed regardless of who measures it. You never notice this because you never move fast enough. At everyday speeds, disagreements about simultaneity are unmeasurably tiny. Your intuition developed in a slow world where now seemed absolute. It was never absolute. You simply lacked the experience to discover otherwise. The present moment you cherish exists only for you, defined by your motion through space-time. Nobody else shares it exactly. Discomfort signals understanding begins. Consider what collapsed. Time does not flow. The present is not universal. The past differs from future only because of initial conditions. The arrow comes from probability, not physics. Now belongs to you alone, not the universe. What replaced these intuitions? Entropy gradients, statistical counting, space-time geometry, coordinates instead of rivers, probability instead of passage. This feels uncomfortable. Good. Comfort indicated the absence of genuine inquiry. You were satisfied with sensations mistaken for explanations. That satisfaction prevented actual understanding. Language fails here permanently. Words like flow, passage, and moment evolved for survival. They helped ancestors navigate immediate threats. They were never designed to describe reality at fundamental levels. Expecting them to work is expecting a hammer to perform surgery. Understanding is layered. Each answer reveals deeper questions. Why was the Big Bang low entropy? Physics does not yet know. Certainty at any layer is premature. Certainty stops investigation. You began believing you understood time. Now you recognize you never did. The confusion you feel is not failure. It is the first accurate perception you have had about time. Confusion means you finally see what was always invisible.